A lot of Bengals are playing lights out right now when it matters most, and some of them are rookies. And then the injury report for the biggest game Cincinnati has had all year has finally come out. Today we're going to dive into all of that right now. First, want to say yes, the lighting is not the best. I'm traveling for Christmas. Hopefully, or yeah, Christmas over, but hopefully everyone had a Merry Christmas. Spent time with family. That's why I didn't have videos coming out because I was spending time with family. But Cincinnati Bengals time plays Saturday against the Denver Broncos, the biggest game of the year. So let's dive into everything. First, the injury report. Then we'll get into all what the players are doing. Let's go deep, big. This is a big injury report. T. Higgins questionable, which is kind of coming out of left field. It's looking like he is still going to be playing, but obviously that's something to look out for. Tanner Hudson, tight end, doubtful. Amarius Mims with a hand, he broke his hand. He is questionable. Sheldon Rankins still with the illness is out. Um, Sam Hubbard out with the knee, likely for the season. Charlie Jones, who's been battling with a groin injury the entire season, is questionable. Joseph Osai has an illness as well, questionable, and Geno Stone also has an illness, is also questionable. So whatever's going on in Cincinnati has to be figured out because all of these players are people that we need desperately. Obviously, desperately need Higgins, desperately need Amarius Mims, desperately need Geno Stone, especially with how all three of them have been playing as of recent. We'll talk about two of them today. Yes, two of them today. But first, let's talk about Mr. Joe Burrow, Joe Cool himself. Um, just a little bit more of a feel-good video before we go into deep diving into the game, which will be tomorrow's video, deep diving on the Bengals Broncos game. But Joe Burrow has thrown for 250 plus yards and 3 touchdowns in 7 straight games, most in the NFL history. First quarterback to ever do that. First player in NFL history to do that. And he's going extremely hot into the biggest game in Cincinnati's 2024 season, obviously against Denver. And I'll talk about this more tomorrow. But Jameis Winston, quarterback for the Browns, passed for almost 500 against the Denver's defense. So, with a healthy offensive line, a healthy Joe Burrow, and a healthy Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, hopefully, Yoshavash too, and maybe get Jermaine Burton in there. Joe Burrow should have, and is looking like he's going to have a really, 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 really good game on Saturday, which we all need. But then, this is the big thing. Let's go big screen. Hopefully, I picked the right one. Boom. Yep. Jamar Chase among wide receivers this season. He has 108 catches, first overall, 1,510 receiving yards, first overall, and 16 receiving touchdowns, first overall, which means as of right now, Jamar Chase is in the lead for the Triple Crown. And if you don't know what that is, Triple Crown is basically, it's not an award. It's just a rare feat. Not a lot of wide receivers have had the honor of saying they've won this. It means just at the end of the season, regular season, you led the league in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. It has only happened 4 times in the history of the NFL. Jamar Chase would be the fifth player to ever do it. Let me look. Actually, let me go back to big screen so you guys don't see me messing around with my computer. He right now with touchdowns, obviously 16. Second behind him is Terry McLaurin with 12, so he's up 4 touchdowns with still 2 games left to go. Receiving yards, he has 1,510. Next behind him is Justin Jefferson with 1,387, roughly around 200 more yards than Justin. And then with receptions, he is there's 3 players behind him tied, all have 101. CeeDee Lamb, who is done for the season, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then Brock Bowers, tight end for the Raiders, who's had a great season. But Jamar Chase leads all 3 of them with 7 more receptions. So as of right now, with 2 games left in the regular season, it's looking likely that Jamar Chase will win the Triple Crown. Obviously, a lot of things can happen, but with the 2 games have left, this is the time for Jamar Chase to extend that lead and kind of solidify that he is going to be the 5th player in NFL history to win the Triple Crown. He will also be the youngest player to ever win the Triple Crown at 24 years old. The second youngest, I believe, was at 26. I think it was Cooper Cup. Yeah, I believe so. Um, but he would be the youngest player to ever win the Triple Crown. Next, let's talk about Marius Mims. This is a huge report. Obviously, he was in the injury report. This is coming from Chatterbox Sports. Said Cincinnati Bengals right tackle Marius Mims will play Saturday with a broken hand. Mims has a PFF pass blocking grade of 70 or higher in 3 of the last 4 games. Hopefully, this is the right one. There we go. This is what I want to look at. Um, this is Amarius Mims against Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Max Crosby, and Micah Parsons. He's played all 4 of them, some of them multiple times, or one of them multiple times this season, and against all 4 of these amazing Hall of Fame edge rushers, he has allowed 0 sacks. And this tweet from Bengals Central, it says Mims could potentially be the Bengals' best first-round pick, not named Burrow or Chase, in a very long time. And I agree. Marius Mims has turned out to be a great pick. Obviously, there's some of the injury lingerings from his past. Obviously, now he is playing. He has a broken hand, but it looks like he's going to play. And that's the kind of offensive lineman that you want to have on the field. But going back to this tweet, Orlando Brown, who was also on the injury report, Orlando Brown will play Saturday. This is, once again, this tweet is coming from Paul, but this is according to Zach Taylor, head coach for the Cincinnati Bengals. Orlando Brown will play Saturday. Cody Ford will move back to guard in place of Cordell Volson, and Amarius Mims will be good to go. Bengals line is back to full strength. That's exactly what we need. Chase Brown is playing lights out recently. Joe Burrow, even with a banged up offensive line, has been making plays outside of the pocket like crazy. But now that the Bengals offensive line is back to full strength, that is huge, huge, huge for the Bengals. Huge. This is going back to Jamar Chase. Olivia Ray reported on this. This was during today's press conference when Jamar Chase was speaking to the media. Triple Crown isn't going to put money in my pocket. Playoffs put money in my pocket. Jamar Chase discussing the motivation behind some of his personal goals. Triple Crown, All-Pro, taking a backseat to the Bengals post-season hunt. Jamar Chase, all he cares about right now is the postseason, doing whatever he can to make sure the Bengals are in the postseason. I promise you, obviously no NFL team doesn't want to make the playoffs, but with how Joe Burrow is playing, and with how Jamar Chase is playing, how Chase Brown is playing, how in general the Bengals offense, how the Bengals offense is playing, it would be probably the best offense to not make a postseason game, not make the postseason, and I'm pretty confident about that. Saying how good the Bengals offense has been playing, it would probably be the best offense to ever miss out on the postseason. And who knows, T. Higgins might be gone after this season, so it's looking like everybody is pretty much full gear in getting to the postseason. One of the biggest contributors of how or what can help Cincinnati make the postseason is definitely the defense. So let me make this a little bit bigger for you. Hope to start one. Yep. Geno Stone. The defense is what will help Cincinnati get to the postseason. Obviously, the offense we know is one of the best in the leagues, but we need the defense to step up. And Geno Stone, a free agent, we got this offseason signed to a $14 or $15 million deal for 2 years. Geno Stone, safety. The beginning of the season wasn't playing up to expectations, but since then has been playing lights out since week 14 during the bye. Since that week 14, they're coming from PFF Cincinnati Bengals, he has a 90.7 PFF grade, which is second among safeties. He has had 106 coverage snaps, 4 receiving yards allowed, 3 interceptions. He's had 3 interceptions in the last 3 games, 1 in each of the games. That's first overall. And a 16.7 passer rating, allowed third overall among safeties. Since that bye week, since week 14, Geno Stone has been playing exactly how we've been expecting him and needing him to play. And there has been a lot of rookie Bengals that have stepped up this past couple weeks. Chris Jenkins, defensive tackle from out of Michigan, 2 sacks against the Browns. Apparently, when he had the flu, Jermaine Burton had 42 kick return yards against the Browns, getting in the kicking room. Obviously, we need him more in the receiving room. We need him to start participating more in the receiving room. But through the returns, he's been doing very, very well. Obviously, Chase Brown, not a rookie, a second-year guy, but he's been playing lights out, almost at 1,000 rushing yards, considering in the first 3 weeks he only had 14 carries. So there's been a lot of young talent, even on the defense. A lot of the defensive players have been stepping up. Josh Newton, rookie out of TCU, having to get in the rotation because of injuries. With Dax Hill out for the year, with DJ Turner out for the year. Josh Newton has picked it up. Marco Wilson, not a rookie, but the free agent signing, or picked up the waiver claim from the Patriots and playing lights out. He's actually had some really good coverages the last few weeks, but a lot of players are stepping up for Cincinnati. Obviously, we wish it came earlier in the season so we weren't in the spot. Literally, if we just won one of those close games, we wouldn't be in this position. We would actually be controlling our destiny to the postseason. But without a doubt in my mind, nobody in the playoffs, especially in the AFC picture, wants the Bengals to make it. Nobody wants to play Joe Burrow in this offense right now. But there's a lot that needs to happen. But I still have faith and I still have hope. But a little feel good video before tomorrow, which is a little bit more serious, where we talk about like the biggest game in recent memory in Cincinnati's history, and just recent memory. This is the biggest game. If we lose this game, we're done. If we win this game, we're sitting very comfortably. Not comfortably. We're sitting closer to that playoff hopes. Don't forget to like this video. Comment on what you think, or who do you think the biggest and most improved rookie or second-year guy has been this season. And don't forget to subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel for all your updates, rumors, trades, everything going on in Cincinnati is going to be talked about here on the Bengals Digest channel. I'm Carson Lokey. Thank you so much for watching. Good night and God bless.